Alright, what's up y'all, LakerFan here. As looks by the title of today's video, you have the top 3 center builds for you in NBA 2K24. These are going to be mainly Pro-Am builds. You can probably utilize them in the park a tad bit, but I'm going to be real with you guys. Builds that are above 6'10", in my opinion, are mainly made for 5s. Anything you play in 3v3 gameplay modes, in my opinion, it should more be like a power forward-esque build, where it's like a 6'9 to 6'8 type build, where it's way more about mobility, perimeter defense, and shooting. These types of builds fit 5s a whole lot more, so that's the type of stuff you're going to see in today's video. So, just to let you know, we have a 7-foot popper right here, the Diamond 3-level threat. We have my 6'10 in a version that I think fits a little bit more of the mainstream rather than the type of niche build that has a super low interior defense and block that I would really vouch for, to be honest. But this one will fit a lot more of what you guys are looking for. And then lastly, we have the meta 7-foot inside with a minor tweak, to be honest. I don't really like the way people put like 65 driving dunk on their meta inside bigs. So let's just go ahead and start with this one actually, because I feel like it requires a little bit of explaining. So 7 foot, 246, 710 wingspan. It's the classic stuff that gives you 99 offensive rebound. As you can see, we even still have the silver anchor, which in my opinion is actually one of the better thresholds you can go for. You will see in today's video there are ones that have the 61 interior with the 78 block that has the bronze anchor and like silver chase down thresholds. So in my opinion, the two things that need the most explaining on a build like this, as far as the tweaks that some people maybe don't have on theirs for the meta inside builds, is going to be the lack of steal. I guess technically 3. The lack of steal, the pass accuracy being so high, 95, and then the dunk being so high with the driving dunk being 89. So here are my explanations and reasons for these things. As a pure inside, in my opinion, as a pick and roller, when you receive the ball and you have to kind of condemn yourself to life of holding up on the stick or X button as your solution when you're on an open pick and roll, I'm not a big fan of that. I feel like to be able to meter dunk nearly everything is really nice. To be able to get contact dunks on those pick and roll attempts where a center may be dropping or rotating down and stuff like that, or a late arriving defender in whatever case, 89 dunk is extremely valuable in that sense, where you can get the pro contacts off one. You still get some really good dunk packages, like for instance, I believe it's like back scratching rim hangs or something like that as well. And then on top of that too, when you have 90 standing dunk, I'm not a big fan of the fact that you have to be 100% of the time squared up with the basket, and it's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. With the driving dunk, you can walk yourself into standing dunk meters. And my point of that is, with the standing dunks, you need the big man contacts, right? But those contact dunks don't always have to be triggered just off your standing dunk rating itself. You can walk yourself into that dunk area and still be able to get a driving rating when it comes to what your meter size is going to be, but it'll still be a big man contact dunk that is going to apply to it. And then even still, you have some really good badges that come along with this, like even the bunny and stuff. If you wanted to, and you happen to be a starter 3, I highly recommend to you to go with a 78 to 80 driving layup for that Jokic, or Sabonis if you're starter 3, like I said, floater. That's a huge deal, and it can be really hard to guard. So feel free to make some minor tweaks like the pass accuracy as well, if you happen to have that. But for most of you guys out there, I don't think your floater package is going to be that worth it if it's just Jokic. I think Sabonis is what you really want to shoot for if you're going to have something like that on deck. By the way, ball handle, speed of ball, extremely cheap for these footers. I definitely recommend upgrading it. You can actually unleash your bag quite a bit with that normal dribble style that you get with that 40 speed with ball as well, and just to be fast in general with the ball, speed with ball, acceleration, stuff like that. And again, I'm a big believer in the fact that you don't need a super high interior D to play good interior defense in the game. It's just when you guys see me on like explaining those 6-7 builds and like the locks and stuff, it's just really cheap and affordable on the build, whereas as a bigger build, it's really hard to afford the interior defense. And then again, the steal is extremely low, but it's really to be able to afford everything on the build. Like let's say we drop the driving dunk to 75, which is a pretty non-efficient like area. If you ask me, you're not going to get any big dunk packages to go for or contact dunks or anything like that. But to drop that dunk by what, 14 right there, and yes, we'll keep the same vert just for the sake of explaining my reason of this. Steal gets you to 60, which yes, that can be bronze interceptor, and the difference between 60 and 25 can be pretty significant. But also, I feel like on these types of builds, you get yourself into really bad positions by even trying to optimize a 60 steal rating, when really you can get away with playing very conservative defense on builds like this anyway, to play your own backdoor, to play good hands up defense on a power forward that's catching a ball, and keep it as simple as that. Now, if you plan to play back-end defender, aka like a paint-sitting 2-3 guy, you could argue that this is really valuable to have. Like if you're playing rec, or if you're playing with your boys in ranked pro-am or something like that, You could argue that steal is nice to have. I've done it before though, playing, you know, anchor, bottom of the 2-3 with no steal rating, and it can be very doable even still, as long as you believe in your block rating and your ability of such thing. But obviously, you know, like I said, the comparison between that, I think to lose out on something like a driving dunk meter is so significant to the point where it is well worth that trade-off of having the low steal rating. So anyway, that is our modification of the 7-foot meta inside build in 2K24. That's a lot of a comp pro-am build right there. We have my 6'10 point center. I'll leave that for last though, because a lot of you guys may already know about that build. Here is the new build that we're going to have Tonic on, without giving too much of a spoiler of what my new build is that we're going to show pretty soon on the channel. But this is Tonic's new build. So obviously, shout out to Tonic beforehand. It's going to be Tonic Keyboard on YouTube if you guys want to look that up. I've found that telling you to look it up is actually better for the algorithm anyway, rather than to show the link of it, because it's going to get him in your search feed and stuff. I'm dropping some YouTube nuggets on you guys right now. But anyway, regardless of that, Tonic Keyboard, check him out. He's a really good post scorer and like shot creator with this stuff too. Now with this build, we've taken away from the post scoring a tad bit. You can still do post scoring with this type of a build as well. Obviously, you don't just need the badges to be able to do stuff 24/7. So like the lack of post fade phenom or anything like that, it is a little bit, you know, degrading to the build, but it's not the end of the world. And this is extremely expensive when you combine it with these types of ratings. Now, if you guys want to do the mental gymnastics, my own supporters and stuff, to figure out what my build is because of these ratings that he has right here, feel free to try and do so. But we'll have that very soon on the channel as well. But anyway, as you can see, this build right here, you know, bypassing just the Tonic related things, let's just talk about what this build can do for you. 87 dunk gives you the pro contacts off 1. You have the vert to match it with 75. You have 90 standing dunk as well, which is going to be very akin and very similar to what we literally just showcased with the last build. But with this one, it's just literally going to be the bronze anchor level of the bronze anchor silver chase down. A little bit lower on the rebounding because we don't have that 99 offensive rebound or anything like that. But besides that, I mean, it's like the same speed, same excel, same ball handle, same speed with ball, nearly, I should say. And then we have like a 90 strength as well. And I mean, bro, it's almost the same build. It's just that you have significantly better shooting on it. And then as you can see, like, I guess the pass act is just a tad bit lower. Same with like slight shavings to the finishing ratings and stuff like that. We only have 67 driving lay as opposed to 70. We only have 87 driving dunk as opposed to 89. I'm a big fan of 89, just so you guys know. But with a build like this, you kind of have to make some sacrifices because you still need a high mid-range as well. So with 86 midi, you get open looks, comeback kid Hoff too, I guess. But also you get some good jump shots with this. Like Michael Porter Jr. base, it's what Tonic's going to be running on this. It's a really, really good big man jump shot. One of the best in the game. And the only arguably like good one besides that is pretty much Chris Bosh, but that's also starter 3 capped. So most of you guys probably can't even get that anyway. But anyway, rebounding versatility. Once again, you have 90 O board and 93 D board. Pair that with a pass act, you still get things like post playmaker on Hall of Fame as well. And again, this is a multifaceted rebounder. You're going to be able to be a popper on offense that can still pretty much do it all. I'm going to be real with you guys. And once again, it's at the expense of steal rating. I'm just a personal believer in this. I mean, again, if you were to like try and shave something off here, what's it going to be? Like, even if you thought 86 pass act versus 92 is going to do something for you, it's not. You don't even get to the interceptor level or anything like that. And I just don't think it's personally worth to have that steal investment at the expense of anything else on your ratings. So this is the build. This is the popper, in my opinion, that can absolutely dominate comp 5s as long as you're okay with that lack of steal rating. I mean, besides that, I don't think anybody's going to expect you to be a demon post scorer or anything like that. And you're going to come out here and have a variety of contact dunking ability that is very nice to have. You're still going to have the ability to shoot really good with some good jump shots and some good ratings and badges to go along with it. And then you still have the ability to throw breaks. You got good ball handle. You can put the ball on the floor. You're going to be able to defend the interior way better than you think you can. I'm telling you, I've seen like literal comp pro-am centers consistently come out here with these types of ratings. Dimes, one of the best bigs in the game before, like, you know, you had the 2K League included, having ratings like this. And then decent Prim D, nothing crazy, but it is what it is. 65 is where you can go without forcing your steal up any, so it's the best value for like a build like this, because obviously what's the difference between 30 steal and 25 steal? It's not very good. So anyway, and then yeah, you shave out on the vertical a tad bit. It would be nice to get a little bit higher vert, but things have to happen for popper builds, obviously. You know, like you have to make something shake a tad bit when it comes to ratings. So there is Tonic's new build. Shout out to him. Once again, he's probably going to post it himself, so I'm hurting his channel a tad bit by posting it myself in the top 3 builds video. But if you guys want to check him out, absolutely feel free to. He's one of the best shot creating post scorers out there. Plays really good defensive stuff too, and he's probably one of the best bigs on the game just in general. But Anyway, moving along to my build, or the former build, I should say. As you can see, this is like a former version of it as well. So personally, I'm a big fan of the no interior D, no block, play with high like 84 mid-range, and it allows you to actually expand your offensive game a tad bit with something like this. Now, when I'm playing with my IRLs though, recently on these runs, we need like an anchor build that like knows what they're doing and stuff like that. So I've taken it upon myself to come out there and bring the 78 block, 61 interior D build and come out there and play the bottom of the 2-3 with a build like this. Now, I just told you guys I don't like the steal rating being on the build, but the unfortunate thing is with that silver challenger and the fact that I want to be the pick and roll defender no matter what, when you get put into pick and rolls against a good team, you need that versatility and that perimeter defensive ability to be versatile when it comes to like guarding the guards. Like, you don't always simply just get away with sitting low on the pick and roll defense and just to be a paint sitter. You know, you can't do that against good guards. You need to step, you need to help. If you can't do that, you need to be in the corner playing defense and be ready to rotate down. But even so, after you rotate down from the corner, you still have to guard the pick and roll again. So long story short, no matter what zone or anything you're in, if you're playing against good players, you need perimeter defense on the back end of a pick and roll. And in this case, it's going to be able to do that. 82 Prim D with a silver challenger. Very good. The defensive rebound is not great, but it performs pretty well, I must say. With the gold rebound chaser, yes, it's not enough. It's not enough for Hoff box out beast, but you can't get that with the strength anyway. It is what it is. 84 is good enough for like gold box out beast, and with the gold rebound chaser and this level of strength, you don't really get wormed too often. I'd actually even argue I've learned how to box out really well on a build like this. But pair that with the 86 vert, you get like, you know, all types of really good contact dunk packages with a 96 as well for the elite off one. If you're not a believer in that, like I am, you obviously could just go down to a 94 dunk. You don't miss out on hardly anything other than whistle and aerial wizard. So it is what it is as far as that goes. And you would still retain the big man contact dunks as well. So if you're not as big of a believer as I am in the 96, it can save you quite a few attribute points. And again, 80 driving layup is for that Sabonis floater. It is a game changer if you're starter 3. But if you're not, Jokic is still okay, but as I've already mentioned before, you may consider going down on it. The problem is you have to max it out at 76 anyway, or minimize it at 76, I should say, because of the dunk rating. If you wanted to go down to 94 dunk, obviously it would let you go down to 74 in the layup, but like I said, when you're already this close, I think it just makes sense to go for Sabonis and go for that 80. And 78 is technically what you need for it, but again, then it's like you might as well get Pro Touch and Fearless personally, and boom, there you are. And you pair that with elite contact dunking at all levels. You got good pass sack, whether it's for kickouts or if it's just for running a little bit of point center ISO, which is very possible for that matter too. And you may even ask, like, what do I do when centers are guarding me? I'm gonna be real with you guys. I think when centers are guarding me is the best possible matchup. I have a harder time like isoing power forwards than I do centers, because you can kind of just walk your way into the dead zone very consistently. Standing dunk meters don't care how big a defender is or anything like that either. It's all about positioning. And then with the driving dunks, again, this is going to allow you to kind of just get into those areas really well. And if it's a center on you, they may just be gapping you so far down into the paint that the floater is going to be wide open for you, and you won't believe the power of Sabonis floater until you see it, bro. It's unbelievable. It's unmatched on any other height in the game. It's what makes bigs superior. These two things are what makes the point center valid, is the fact that you can get standing contact dunks. That is something that other ISO guards cannot do. And then you get crazy floater range, which is once again something that other guards and swings cannot do. And also, I have another version that I want to show you guys before the video's over of how I would manipulate this build if you wanted the mid-range on it. But regardless of that, again, pretty solid defense, great physicals. They're all maxed out pretty much everywhere, and you can move pretty good. That Hoff big driver does not play either. I'm telling you, whatever it is about that badge, you move really good with this build in comparison to other bigs. I don't know why. I also know 2K Labs showed a video of the handles for days actually influencing the way you move with your offhand runs, aka like if you just sprint to your right if the ball's in your left hand, sprint to your left if the ball's in your right hand, and with normal dribble style, it actually works really well for that. I know you might be kicking this build for having not the pro dribble style, even though it's so close to it, but A, you can't get it at 6'10", B, normal dribble style, I think I'd even prefer for a style like this anyway. So, anyway, 86 vert, boom, you get that contact dunk package. Let me go ahead and show you what I would do to influence this build differently if it were for the midi. So, it's actually quite simple. You literally just take down the interior D, you take down the block. It's about as easy as that. I put 90 vert back into it. I put 84 strength back into it. I actually go 90 D-board. And look at how cheap this mid-range actually is. It's kind of insane. And it's why I actually do vouch for this style of build right here. It's 84. It goes all the way up to that. We don't really do too much more with the three-pointer or anything like that. I just wanted 80 free throw on the dot, so it forces the three-pointer back up to like 40 technically. And as I just take down one more acceleration from 67 to 66, boom, there you go, 80 free throw, 40 three-pointer. I've actually even hit a three-pointer with this build. And with this one, it's just shy of getting things like Michael Porter Jr. base that you would need like an 86 rating for. I run Jonathan Isaac base with pure Jaren Jackson uppers on this, and it's affordable. It's a pretty good jump shot, good height, all types of stuff like that. The 84 mid-range gives you some really good badges, as you can see. Like, I mean, it's a very good threshold besides 86 being open looks. But 82, catch and shoot, guard up. 83, blinders. 84, Deadeye and Mini Magician on gold. It's very usable. I'm not the greatest shooter in the game or anything like that, but when you pair an 84 mid-range with the threat of like people having to guard you high and also still having the point center aspect of this, it's pretty much a 5-out build, but it's limited in the sense of it's not hunting threes, it's hunting mid-range instead. But with the way that you have to dribble on a build like this anyway, the mid-range is your best friend regardless, because it segues into those dunk like opportunities so well, way better. And again, you want to operate as a little bit of a center on offense even still, so like pairing this with the silver brick wall, the ability to be a pick and roller, the good offensive rebound, you can still play corner defense, or I actually wanted to play hash D with a build like this most recently, and I think you definitely can. I mean, bro, let's be real, fellas. You don't need steal to play defense. I'm gonna be completely honest with that. And then you may underestimate the interior defense and block. Feel free to. I encourage you to like look elsewhere if you think you need anchor and like good interior defense and good block to play good interior D. But I'm here to tell you, personally, I don't think you do. First of all. Second of all, if you guard hash or guard corner, you don't even need to really be a rotator or dropper. You're just there for boards. Third of all, you have 82 perimeter defense at 6'10" with a 7'7" wingspan. There are people that guard hash with like 75 prim D, and that's it. And maybe they have steal, yeah, sure, but I'm just saying that it's been done. You can definitely still guard the hash. You can guard point guards and stuff too. You may just need a little bit more help with rotates and stuff like that, or to be willing to switch. And I'm telling you, you can guard centers. You won't believe it, but you can if you give this a try. But anyway, that is all for video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new to noties, all good stuff. And like always, try to 1,000 likes. If you made it to the end of the video, put 6'10" or put 7 foot in the comments. Search Perch my way through. And one more time, shout out to Tonic for letting me use this build video and like not even caring about it hardly at all. I think this is going to be a banger build, and I cannot wait to show you guys the builds that me and AK are pairing with this right here. Now, I did just hype up the point center a little bit, both the mid-range build and like the, you know, inside center aspect of it. But I think we're reaching a new point in the year. I've played like that for 4 months now. I think we're getting to a different style, and I'm here to tell you right now, it's going to be a guard. So your boy Laker is moving on to some guard things, and it's going to be a guard. Now, not really like a 3-hunting one, but I'm talking like 6'2" is what I'm going for on the build. So anyway, I'll get you guys that video very soon. I just want to get a little bit of gameplay, a little bit of reps with it, and get some actual runs. But I'm really excited to show that to you. But don't let that really like steer you away from a build like this. I still think a style like this is so perfect for something like ranked. It's just against like comp pro-am teams, it may not be enough to get the job done in every situation. But to be fair, I wouldn't have wanted to give up on it in the first place either. Our original plan was that I just think we needed a little bit more of an offensive point guard to like bend in like marriage with this build right here, or like to combo up with, if you will. You need a good point guard to run efficient offense pick and roll wise. Now, you don't really, to be fair, if it's like ranked. I've played with a build like this. You guys could check it out with my IRLs. I play with literally the inside version of it, and I've had like consistent games of going for like 40, 10, and 10 with like 18 for 19 field goal as well. And obviously hitting my free throws and stuff too. But anyway, I don't want to talk it up way too much. I'm just telling you, it's been a good enough build. And just because you guys don't see me on it in the future, if that's the case, it doesn't mean it's bad or I've given up on it or anything like that. It's just I want to try something new. Simple as that. So anyway, that is all for video. I hope you all enjoyed. None of that. Take it easy, man. Peace.